So definitely have my work cut out for me, but this is how you refurb a old used reef tank.
Reefers.
Welcome back to another episode. This is Micah. This is my 60-gallon cube. As you can see, my tank looks quite a bit different. I have begun tearing it down. I was not planning on doing it this fast, but yesterday I picked up a brand new tank. New to me. It is 15 years old, so it is certainly not brand new, but it is brand new to me. 200-gallon, 8-foot long, 2-foot deep, 20 inches high, already drilled. I am crazy excited, but it is going to be a project. I am basically going to have to refinish and redo this tank, silicone, the whole 9 yards. So it will definitely be a project. The same day I brought it home, 2 people came to buy coral from me. The first person to come was a couple, and they decided they wanted 2 big rocks out of my tank. After showing them, the big tank, they decided to help me go ahead and force to start breaking down. It was pretty sad. As you can see, the tank is just rearranged. Stuff's just kind of thrown everywhere, and I've begun pretty much selling everything off, trying to raise money for the new tank, which you guys will see in just a little bit. But I wanted to give you guys a view of how the tank is looking as of right now. They did take some of the big pieces. I do have a few left. So if anyone is in the Pensacola area and wants to come check it out, wants a few frags or a few of these colonies, I need to get rid of everything to raise money for the new tank. This big guy actually fell off yesterday. Just got random stuff everywhere. Pretty much my whole rock structure in the back. Those 2 big rocks with that jutting out like a piece of rock. That right there is what they ended up buying. They bought 2 big rocks actually. So I was actually able to manage, I actually was able to get the sexy shrimp in the bucket with them. So after having them for a few years, I finally was able to get rid of them. This is pretty much everything looks right now. I'm going to continue selling everything until it's all gone, and then I will sell the tank. And the new tank will be on this entire wall right here. So I've got some moving to do. I will have a couple feet on each end of the tank, not much, but it should be enough to reach around and work on the different ends if I need to. So kind of sad, but exciting all at the same time. This is my first Acropora tank, my first like real SPS tank. So running for almost 2 years now, and it's just sad to see it be broken down so fast. My plan was to set up like a 20-gallon tall, start fragging stuff, and then break this thing down in stages where I could do it controlled. But they came in, they said they wanted 2 big rocks that had all the coral growing on it, and the only thing I could do was start breaking down the tank. We did it pretty smoothly, didn't break too much stuff. This digitata did break off, that's why he's just kind of hanging out in there right now. But other than that, we didn't really break off too much stuff. It's overall pretty successful, considering I had to remove 2 big structurally integral parts of the tank. Alright, so now let's go check out the new hotness. This is the new beast. 200 gallons, 8 feet long, 24 inches wide or deep, and 20 inches high. The guy I bought it from said it used to be a 240 gallon, but the previous owner had it cut down from 24 inches tall to 20 inches tall. which I'm okay with those measurements. It's going to be a lot easier for me to reach in, get stuff in the back. He had 4 holes drilled in it, which I have been removing the old bulkheads and some of the plumbing. Let me guys show you why it's a bad idea to use silicone. See if I can get on bulkheads. This is how much black silicone he had used, mainly because these bulkheads are not the right size for these holes. So he tried to compensate for that and fill it with a bunch of silicone. So don't use silicone on bulkheads. Make sure your surface is very clean. I'm gonna have to remove all of this paint on the back. I mean, this thing is 15 years old. As you can see, just covered in coralline algae. DIY glass braces that he put in after he bought it, because after it was cut down, the center supports were no longer there. It had about 2 inches of sand and rock and water when we got to the guy's house. It took us a good 2 hours to finally get it moved into the truck. I mean, this thing is a beast. It came with a stand canopy with some T5 light setups that's going to need to be rewired, probably new ballast. I want to do maybe some LEDs in the middle and then just supplement with the T5s. Came with a 55-gallon sump. The only issue that I have with this tank is, besides the amount of cleaning, is this chip that's in this back corner. I've talked to a few people. Everyone seems to say it's going to be fine. It does not go all the way through into the inside. It's only on the outside. And I figure, worst case scenario, if I feel really bad about it, I will get a pane of glass cut and then just silicone it to the inside as additional support. But before that, I am going to rip out all the silicone from the seams and re-silicone it. I have done that before on a 100-gallon tank a few years back. It's just going to be a little more challenging with all of these glass support structures in the middle. So make sure to follow along as I continue this build. There's going to be a lot of work, a lot of redoing stuff. I have to clean up this stand. As you can see, I mean, just all this paint. He said he used acrylic paint, and I'm guessing no primer, because I mean, this stuff just peels off. Like, where's the primer? So that should be at least a little bit easier on my part. I think I'm going to reinforce the bottom some and just tinker around with it, make it more of my own. But very excited. Very, very excited. Alright, I'm about to start the first cleaning. This first spray is just going to be a water vinegar mixture. I'm going to just sort of soak some of the coralline down. My end game is going to be to get some muriatic acid and spray it down, but this is what it all looks like before. Pretty gross, pretty caked on. So let's spray it down with some vinegar. So I've just been letting the vinegar sit for a few minutes, and as you can see, this stuff just sort of comes right off. Now most of this is just algae, and you can see some of that hard stuff doesn't come off so easy, but old caked on algae works quite well. And this is just a plastic, like, silicone scraper. Well, I gotta say, the vinegar, water, and razor blade are certainly doing a good job. As you can see, I've got about halfway done. Well, he's scraping off all the big stuff. Still gotta clean the glass and vacuum out all this gunk. But so far, not too bad. Of course, this is really in my opinion, the worst side. Look at all that coralline caked up on the glass, the front glass. This other side of the tank really didn't have that much on it. Whew. Alright, well that took me about 2 hours, but I finally got the tank, I'd say 98% clean. There's still a few spots that I missed, but you know, it's hard to see all what you miss when there's just so much on the glass. And now of course you can also see the scratches, but it is a 15-year-old tank. I did expect some scratches. It's really not that bad for being 15 years old. One thing that is interesting, that this tank was originally drilled with I guess an overflow right here that he apparently did not like. He cut a piece of glass and siliconed it there. He said it's never leaked. I'm debating on re-siliconing that. I'm going to re-silicone all of the seams anyways, just because it is 15 years old, and also some of them are just not in the best of shape. As you can see down here, this one is peeling away, and then if you look up, there's just not very much left on a lot of these. So I would feel a lot better if I had new seams. And then I've got, you know, 4 holes drilled in the back that are going to be either 2 or 3 overflows with either 1 or 2 returns. If I do just 1 return, I'll probably either have to drill another hole or just run my overflow over the back, which, I mean, you shouldn't be able to see with the canopy anyway, so it shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, about 2 hours worth of work. Got most of it clean. I think it looks 100 times better than what it did before. Still a little dirty. Got some hard spots on there. That is not a scratch you see right there. That is, I guess, just a lot of hard water over the years. So some people, I've read CLR. I might also use the muriatic acid, but to clean this, I just used vinegar and a razor blade. Wasn't too bad. So my next step is going to be hopefully get it completely clean, rip out the old silicone, let it dry for a few days, maybe get another piece of glass cut for this chip in the corner. Can I see it there? So once I take the silicone off, I'll be able to see a little better how bad it actually is. I'll probably get another pane of glass just to put right here, silicone that into place, and then it'll be time to get started on the stand and lights. The outside of the stand actually looks okay. I got to redo some of the doors. They swing in too far. Obviously I have to redo some of the lights, and then all of the paint on the inside is going to have to be stripped, sanded, primed, and painted again. So definitely have my work cut out for me, but this is how you refurb a old used reef tank. So make sure to stay tuned for further updates. If this is something you're interested in and you're thinking about maybe buying a tank, because I tell you what guys, I got this thing pretty cheap. There was a lot of work involved. I think the guy knew there was a lot of work involved, and I was able to talk him down. I got it up for under $100, I'll just say that. 200-gallon 8-foot tank for under $100, I mean, that's a freaking deal. But I have my work cut out for me. It's not like I can just set this thing up and be on my way. But I'd say that's a pretty productive first step. Alright, see you guys in the next one.